Hello and welcome to Higher Computing Science Database Design and Development Lesson 4. This is about query design. Here's what we're learning. And the point of query design is so that the creation of the query doesn't get out of hand. It's very good to plan it beforehand so you know what to include, so that you don't miss anything, and so that you don't get frustrated when working with SQL. You will have designed queries at National 5 level, and you'll notice there's a new row heading here, grouping. When it comes to designing, you can think of this first one as like select, this one as from, this as where, this is a new one, it would be group by, and this one is order by. So it's kind of like writing the query, but you don't have to write these fancy keywords. So in the first row, you write the fields and any calculations. In the second one, it's all the tables you're getting these fields from, or that you're using later in the query. The search criteria is things like where one field is greater than a certain value, or where one field is equal to something, those types of things. Grouping is something we'll look at later, and sort order is like alphabetical order of forename. That would be an example. So let's use this database as an example. We've got resorts, hotels, bookings, and customers. You can see that hotels are in a resort. Customers make bookings for a specific hotel. This is the resorts database. If we want to show the name of any resort that has a hotel with a star rating of 4 or more, when designing this query, we want to list the attributes that we're going to see in our query in the attributes and calculations part. So what do we want to show? We want to show the resort name, resort name. We don't want to show anything else, just the resort name. So that's all that goes into there. Which entities will we need? Well, we need to look at the entities here. We want to show the resort name. So the resort name is stored in the resort table. But we also need to check the star rating of the hotel. So star rating is right here, star rating. So we need the resort table and the hotel table. There we go. What's the search criteria? Well, their star rating has to be 4 or more, so that's the criteria. Star rating greater than or equal to 4. What grouping does is it condenses any repeating data into a single record. So for example, if we have lots of hotels in one resort that have a star rating of more than 4, so if we've got Hotel A, Hotel B, and Hotel C, and they're all 4-star and above for Resort A, we're going to see Resort A 3 times because A, B, and C hotels are 4-star or more in this resort. So we're going to see Resort A, Resort A, Resort A. If we group by the resort name, we're not going to see that resort name multiple times. It'll group them all into one single record. So we do want to group by resort name. Ta-da! Now, is there a sort order? Nope. It doesn't mention anything about sort order, so we just leave it blank. Right, next query. Show the first and last names and the number of bookings each customer has made. Well, first name and last name, surname is last name. That's in the customer. So we want to show the first name and last name. And we want to show the number of bookings each customer has made. Now, this is going to require something called aggregate functions. And we haven't looked at those yet. But when it comes to counting the number of something, we use an aggregate function called count. And it doesn't matter what we count. Here we are. So we've got the first name, surname, and the count. It doesn't matter what we count. So we can just put an asterisk in there. What count does is it counts the number of records that the first name and surname from here is linked to in the other table. So this is going to count the number of bookings that this customer has made. So this is what we need here, count asterisk. Which entities do we need for this? Well, we need the customer, and we're counting the bookings that they've made, so we need the booking table. Ta-da! Do we need a search criteria? Nope. Do we need to group anything? Well, because a customer may have made multiple bookings, when we count those, we're going to see multiple results. And in fact, whenever you use an aggregate function, you must group all the other fields that aren't part of an aggregate function. So we only want to see the first name and surname once per customer. So we do need to group by forename and surname. And sort order, we don't care. So that gets blank as well. Again, we are going to look at these in the future when it comes to implementation. So don't worry if it doesn't make any sense right now. All right, final example. Show the surname, the booking number, and the total cost of their booking in descending order of total cost. So we're going to need a calculation for this, but what do we want to select? What do we want to show? We want to show the surname. There we are, surname. We want to show the booking number, and we want to show the total cost of their booking. Now, the total cost of their booking depends on many things. It depends on the price per person per night of the hotel. It depends on how many nights they're staying there for, and it depends on how many people are included in the booking because it's price per person per night. So if we've got 2 people staying for 2 nights, you need to say, all right, 2 times the price per person per night. And we can do that right here, bloop, just like this. So we do want to show the surname, we want to show the booking number, and we've got a thing here that is interesting. This is It looks like it's a variable, as if it's a programming language. This is what's known as an alias. Again, we're going to look at these in more detail in the implementation section, but it's just another word that will act as the heading for the result of this calculation. So what's a calculation? Number nights times number in party times price person night. So that's what we said. Multiply these by this. That's the result. Total cost. Which entities do we need for this? Well, we need the customer for their surname. We need the booking number, so the booking table. And we need to use the booking table for the number nights and number in party. But we also need to use the hotel for the price person night. So they're the three entities. Do we need to use resort? No. So three entities there. What's the search criteria? Well, nothing. We don't care about the specific prices. We just want to see everything. We're not limiting this. There's no search criteria. What about grouping? Well, customers may have made multiple bookings, but do we want to group by the customer? It's not going to make any sense to do that because we want to see each individual booking. So we don't really want to group by anything. We just want to see every booking that each customer has made. So we don't mind if we see it appear multiple times. And finally, sort order. We do need to sort it. It says in descending order of total cost. So we need to include this total cost calculation again. Ta-da! There's the calculation, and we need to specify descending order. So that is how you do a query design. Notice that we don't need to link these tables. We don't need to do any other fancy stuff. We don't need to mention select or from or where. It's just the names of the fields, calculations, names of the entities, that type of thing. So it's much simpler than a query, but it's good to plan it all out so you know what to include. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.